A very good evening, Team Zimbabwe. Maswera say. So we are taking a look on Citizens Coalition for Change candidates selection criteria, which they are using, its advantages, and how it is giving ZANU PF sleepless nights. So ZANU PF, they held their own primaries. We saw a lot of imposition, a lot of violence, a lot of vote buying happening. And Citizens Coalition for Change came with a new strategy. Number one, they knew very well that the reason why ZANU PF fast-tracked its own candidates selection was to make CCC do the same, so that they know kuti ndevapi vanhu vari kusapota triple C directly. So right now, what has happened is that CCC managed to do the nominations, and these nominations, IRATIDS, especially the people who are always on the forefront, not the general populace. So what that affects ZANU PF is like the ZANU PF processes is that when you have the only people you have been seeing supporting triple C being on the forefront, you cannot confront the general voter. You cannot confront the other people because havana kutora a direct role in all those things, which means our youths in daily politics, they've been spared. Our women in daily political activities, they've been spared from the road, which is a good strategy. Then you go on to this issue, which is very important. CCC has done its nominations, and the person with the highest nominations will sail through. But it won't be an issue of having higher nominations. You have to pass all the credibility tests which are around there. So there are almost four processes. The first process is the issue of nomination, which was done. Then there is the second process of verification. They're going to verify, are these Citizens Coalition for Change people? Because, for an example, there are people who participated in ZANU PF primary elections. They can just come and say, guys, it's nominated. So that verification is very important, so that we don't frustrate the voters to say, when vakarejectwa ZANU PF, you see them vachizomirira part. So that verification process is key. And this is where ZANU PF is finding it difficult to infiltrate and control CCC, because ivo vanhu vavo vakatozikanwa kudhara, and there was a perception yekuti CCC haina vanhu. So a lot of people jumped ship to ZANU PF ndobva zvanoramba, but kuti kuchidzokeka kuchadzokeke, because ZANU PF is already ahead in terms of its things, its candidate selection. Then we have an issue. After we have verified, there is an issue, a key issue, where the citizens are supposed to come up with their own manifesto. So it means if I'm contesting in Dotito Ward 28 in Dotito, what I'm going to do is I'm going to present a manifesto for Dotito Ward 28 and say, kunoku kudotito akuna mvura. I have to address that issue, a challenge yemvura for Dotito. Then I go to the issue yema schools, I address it. I go to the issue of my roads, I address it. The reason why they are doing so is because we have different problems in different wards. Like, for an example, there are areas dzakaita development kare achiri maruzeva nguva yana Smith. You can find out that some areas does have schools which are well built, and then you go kumapraz kwakaitwa hondo yeminda, you find underdeveloped schools, which means a ward iri kumapraz is different to a ward iri kumaruzeva in terms of infrastructure development, pama schools, nemvura, and so forth. So that will bridge that gap rekuti party haisiriyo iri kuuya nemanifesto kuvanhu ichiti this is our manifesto. No, it's the councillor who is coming up with a manifesto to say vanhu vekwakati vari kuda A, B, C, D, and that is according to their demands, according to their needs. You are addressing the challenges of people right from the beginning, but zvichienderana nenzvimbo. So you would see that the National Manifesto will be able to cover each and everything as it is supposed to do. So ukatarisa manifesto yeZANU PF iri kudraftwa nevanhu vasiri kuexperienza maproblems, vanhu vasiri kugara mumavillages nesu, vanhu vasipo, vari kugara mumadhorobheni, ndo vari kudrafta manifesto yeZANU PF. Manifesto yeCCC is deriving from the citizens, is deriving from the person who is representing the party, kwachemdambuya, kugokwe, kupi, kwamungafunga nezvako. Which means we have an advantage over ZANU PF because we are going to directly deal with the problems which our people are facing. Kana mune a problem ye-deep tank and mombe dzenyu dziri kufa nezvirwere, ma-tick-borne diseases, that issue is going to be addressed because the councillor has been experiencing the same thing. So you would see that is an advantage, an overall advantage of Citizens Coalition for Change, which has given ZANU PF sleepless nights because kuti vachitanga kuti vanhu vavo vagadzire mamanifesto hazvichaiti, which means each and every Citizen Coalition for Change candidate kana akanzi auye azoita a presentation of his or her manifesto, it is going to be a very, very, very beautiful thing. One thing which can happen is to see MP or 210 MPs. You can see them MP nemakanzelake, MP nemakanzelake, MP nemakanzelake doing my presentations in terms of so it will be a very beautiful thing. We have the people with ideas being given positions rather than just giving people with a political muscle. Kune munhu wekuti anogona ita slogan pamberi anogona, but an idea here hana. So this is an opportunity to give people with ideas leeway to come forward, an opportunity to come forward and an opportunity to represent the people. And if you put people with ideas on the forefront, it's definite that you win that election because they resonate with the problems which our people are facing. And if you are to form a government, you are going to form a government from a pool of people who know what needs to be done, when, where, and how. So you would see that, honestly speaking, from my own look of things, I have seen that this is the best candidate selection activity which has happened in the politics of Zimbabwe. So before I end this program, I just want to play this from Advocate Fadzai Mahere so that you get to hear what she said.
It's important to stress, as has been highlighted before by our elections department, that the process has at least 4 stages. So nomination is only the first aspect. Following nomination, there's going to be a vetting process. And so the fact that one has been nominated is not the end of the situation. It doesn't mean that you are yet eligible to be a candidate. After the vetting process is complete, we're also going to have a process where stakeholders, key stakeholders in various communities are also going to be consulted and have an opportunity to make their voice heard and make representations on who they would like to represent them and any comments they may have on those who've been nominated. Thereafter, the very important community consensus building part of the panel starts, where there'll be citizen caucuses, where citizens will come together, be told there's X candidate, there's Y candidate, who do we prefer and why. They'll have an opportunity to also make their case, deliver a very brief manifesto of what they plan to deliver in their ward or in their constituency, and also to take questions from the community concerning their eligibility to run. Obviously, as it's been highlighted, the template looks at factors such as integrity, ties and service to a community, commitment to the cause, any expertise, any special skills one has obviously taken into account the need to ensure that we comply with the Constitution on matters such as disability inclusion and gender parity. So at the end of the day, what we're going to deliver is a citizens' dream team that incorporates every citizen, every represented group, every special interest group in Zimbabwe. We obviously expect to be able to put our best foot forward in the coming election. The process is going to be expeditious. We've got timelines that have been set for the independent panel, and hopefully those processes will be completed soon so that we're in time for nomination and in time, obviously, for the last get out the vote campaign period.
So you have heard Advocate Fadzai Maere further explaining this position, and it's something which I applaud of, something which I support. Not because I support Triple C, but when something good is happening, we really need to actually give credit when it is due. This team is working credibly well to make sure that they provide a team which is going to take ZANU PF ahead on. This is it in Zimbabwe. Let us meet in other episodes and other podcasts.